So guys, can you guess what we're doing today? We're playing with Hemis. I'm kidding, this Hemi. Wrong one over there. Head gaskets are all coated, hanging up. And Dad went to the parts store to get us a 3-jar puller because apparently we didn't have one. This thing's still hot. But we got bearing retainer, I guess that's what you call it on this. Pulled off of the cam and the lock ring thing. I don't even know. It's like small walk technology on this Hemi, which is my bane of my existence. So I'm going to get these parts all cleaned up. I'm not going to bother filming it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put these pieces in the oven because they're supposed to be pressed on. Well, we don't have a press. So I'm going to put them in the oven, heat them up, and then, not too much, but we're going to heat them up, put them on the cam, let it cool, and then we'll be putting the new cam in and degreeing it in. As you can see, you know, all this is ready, pistons and everything. So we'll get everything degreed in and get all the lifters put in it, get it all ready to rock and roll, slap the heads on it, and once the heads are on, we're going to do the final paint on this block, which I think y'all are going to like. And if you don't like it, then tough titties, that's how I'm painting it. And, you know, this thing's going to be done here pretty soon, pretty fast. So, I'll see you once we get the cam, start putting the cam in. Alright guys, there we go. That was a pain in the butt. I had to do that last night. I put this press-on retainer in the oven for 250 degrees for probably an hour. It still didn't really want to go on all that easy, so I took an 1/8" socket and beat it on, and now it's on there real good. And we're going to take out all these bolts, blue Loctite them. Let's see. And we're going to get everything lubed up, get ready to put in. We got all of our parts from Hot Heads, all of our lifters, our adjustable push rods that they want us to use. So, we're going to get putting this baby together because it's about time it got put together. Alright, I'll see you in a second. guys, cam is in, lifters are in, everything's pre-lubed as you saw on the camera. In fact, I found an old tripod of mine, a really nice quality one. In fact, if you can't tell how hot it is here in Kansas, it's almost October. I have a headband on now. See? And it's soaked in cold water, trying to keep myself cool. So everything on the front is ready. I just threw this on here. Everything should be good in there. I'm going to lube it all up once I get some more engine lube on the chain and everything. Sorry, I'm a little bit discombobulated when my buddies just left. He came by to give me a little bit of money, which is always nice. Did I mention I helped pull a 327 in Saginaw 4-speed out of 55 Chevy before I came home and did this? So it's been a long day so far. Been thrashing on car stuff since 8:30, and it's like 3 or 4 o'clock already. So what we're gonna do next is get these push rods from Hughes, or not from Hughes. Oh, I'm thinking of my other engines from Hot Heads. Get all these ready to put in. Of course, we're gonna set the head on these big old dowels, get all these put in, and then clean. Well, first off, what we're gonna do: clean the deck surface one more time, real good, and then wipe it all down. Set the head gasket on there, set the head on her, throw all these push rods in it, and then we're going to get the rockers on and get the head bolts in there, and then we are going to be pretty close to done. So it's coming together real fast now. Still got to buy an oil pump. I don't like doing things out of order. Typically the oil pump would already be in there, but they say these stock oil pumps aren't very good, so we're going to get a converted 340 oil pump just because. Be safe with this engine because we don't want it to fail. But we're going to run the old style of oil pump canister. And for anybody curious, this cam was custom ground, and these are our specs, which I haven't even really looked at yet. We have low lift 285, exhaust 285, valve lift is 427, lobe sip is 108, duration 268. That'll sound pretty good. This came from Hard Cams in California, Miraloma, and 120 bucks for my camshaft. I didn't have to do anything but tell them what I wanted. I told them I wanted a cam that's going to run real good with, you know, not a lot of compression. I just want something that's going to sound right. So he custom ground that for me, and hopefully it sounds as cool as I hope it does. So I'm done rambling. Let's get these heads thrown on. Take a minute and reflect on what we've done so far. If I was good enough with a computer, I'd have a flashback reel of all the fun stuff we've done to this point. But I don't. Nor do I really have the time for that. This is a really good moment. This is the first time I've actually seen this engine at this stage, actually. Because when I bought the engine, it was kind of, well, I guess it was kind of together. The heads were technically off of it, but I just got 2 head bolts just holding everything on because I have to come through and set the rocker lash at 0 for each of these. So I got to adjust all of these. And I want to keep it easy. These are just snug. They're not even close to being tight. And there's our timing chain and everything. For, you know, the original timing chain, it's actually in really good shape. And it's a big timing chain, you know, like here's the thickness of my finger. It's a pretty beefy unit, I could say that much. You know, we ported these heads and everything, ported the exhaust. I think this is going to be a good little running engine. I've kind of lost interest in this thing, building it, you know, doing all the work, trying to find all the parts and everything. But seeing it right now has really reinvigorated me. And I hope you guys feel the same thing I'm feeling right now, because it's a great moment for me. I mean, when you're putting on the final touches of an engine, when you start to bolt the heads on, it's a glorious moment, because it's all downhill from here. Once this engine goes on the engine stand, then you start to find all the things you messed up. But I've done everything by the book. Everything, you know, I Loctited everything like this, and the cam retaining plate, it's all blue Loctite, so we shouldn't have any issues there. I mean, it's just like the 426. You take your time, you do everything right, and I spent more money on this engine than really originally planned. We bought some valves for it, bought a guide for it. We learned how to put a guide in, bought push rods, bought a bunch of stuff for this engine I didn't really plan on, and we still got to buy an oil pump. I'm going to take the original oil pump apart and check it out, but look at that. 241 Red Ram Hemi from Dodge in 1954. I think it was 140 horsepower, 150 horsepower, something like that. 7.2 or 1 to 1 compression ratio. I know it ain't the coolest engine in the world, but it's a really neat piece of history, and I'll have fun displaying it next to my, let me just show you, my 1953 Buick Nailhead 322. Just to, you know, I wish my Hemi would have stuff like that on it, but it'll be fine with the little Holly 2 barrel until the day comes that I change the intake out. I mean, I'm tripping over little Hemi stuff since I bought this engine. That's from that spare 241 Poly I bought. That was junk. So yeah, there it is, guys. I don't think this will be the end of the video, but if it is, I appreciate you watching this far. For anybody who's watched this video series, I can't even I'm just lost for words, and I don't like to be lost for words because it makes me feel like I don't do this kind of stuff for a living. There she is, guys. Well, there we go, Dad. Now you're home. Everybody saw while we were torquing. I better make sure that's off. That's off. Torqued the heads down. Dad set the valves while I rotated the engine. Everything is set perfectly. Think so, Dad?
Could be.
Hope so.
Hope so.
If everybody watches real closely, when we got done torquing the heads, we did one of those cheesy high five moments. Ah. So there she is. I think this is going to be the end of this video. I think the next video you're going to see is going to be painting it all pretty. And then getting, you know, obviously the valve covers bolted on, get the intake on it, get everything else done. Of course, got to wait for an oil pump still. So, appreciate you guys watching. You want to say anything, Dad?
Not really. Bye-bye.
Okay. Well, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.